Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Arun Singh Thakur from University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, Punjab University, Chandigarh. This module examines some of the basic and key concepts of sustainable tourism and its principles that help to lead the tourism industry towards sustainable tourism management. After completing this module, students, you will be able to first understand the meaning and concept of sustainable tourism, know about the principles of sustainable tourism management, know about the scope of sustainable tourism, then know about the various strategies and tools for the sustainable tourism management. So students, let us start. Although tourism activity may not be seen like a negative activity, but tourism does have a huge impact on the planet. Every year, humans take a total of 32 million flights, producing 781 million tons of carbon. Then we have actually reached to our destinations. Travelers use double the amount of water we do at our home. Unfortunately, that often means we are using much more natural resources than we normally would. Nowadays, tourism planning is considered important to minimize various negative impacts that tourism activities can have on the tourist destination and the local people. While various different approaches have been advocated over the years, planning of tourism based on the philosophy of sustainability has emerged as one of the most comprehensive approaches. Two concepts are recognized as contributing to sustainable tourism development, that is, to maximize or increase the participation of multiple stakeholders in the process of tourism planning and strategic orientation towards tourism planning. Now, dear students, before proceeding further, let us briefly discuss about sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism means the tourism which is economically viable but does not destroy the resources on which the future of tourism will depend, notably the physical environment and the social fabric of the host community. Sustainable tourism is the tourism which develops as quickly as possible, taking account of current accommodation capacity, the local population and the environment. The development of tourism and new investment in tourism sector should not be tracked from tourism itself. New tourism facilities should be integrated with the environment. The sustainable tourism may be defined as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic and social environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and the host communities. Further, we'll discuss the principles of sustainable tourism management. Bramwell et al. Suggested the various principles behind the tourism management as the approach of sustainable tourism sees policy planning and management as appropriate and indeed essential responses to the problem of natural and human resource misuse in tourism sector. The approach of sustainable tourism is generally not anti-growth, but it emphasizes that there are limitations to growth and the tourism must be managed within these limits. Then for sustainable tourism planning, long term rather than short term thinking is necessary. The concerns of sustainable tourism management are not just environmental but are also economical, social, cultural, political, and managerial also. The approach emphasizes the importance of satisfying human needs and aspirations, which entails a prominent concern for equity and fairness. Then all the stakeholders need to be consulted and empowered in tourism decision making, and they also need to be informed about sustainable development issues. While sustainable development should be a goal for all policies and actions, putting the ideas of sustainable tourism into practice means recognizing that in reality there are often limits to what will be achieved in the short and medium term. Then comes an understanding of how market economies operate, of the cultures and management procedures of private sector, business, and of public and voluntary sector organizations, and of the values and the attitudes of the public is necessary in order to turn intentions into practical measures. Then comes the balancing of cost and benefits in decision on different courses of action must extend to considering how many different individuals and groups will gain or lose. Now, we'll try to understand the scope of sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism is clearly a broad and under researched area that encompasses many of the elements of tourism system. Further, in the module, we will look a number of aspects of sustainable tourism to understand its scope, which include the stakeholders of sustainable tourism, the sustainable tourism and different types of environment, the different types of tourism and the sustainable tourism and the type of tourism organizations. Then comes different sectors of tourism and sustainability, then sustainable tourism and functional management. Then comes the concept of sustainable tourism in different regions of the world. So let us start from the first aspect, which is sustainable tourism, the key stakeholders. There are many stakeholders in the field of sustainable tourism as depicted in the chart. With such a complex web of stakeholders, it is not surprising that it is difficult to reach a consensus on what sustainable tourism means and how it can be achieved. Further, we'll discuss the second aspect, which is sustainable tourism and different types of environment. The debate over sustainable tourism tends to revolve around 5 different aspects of environment. In other words, we talk about sustainable tourism development and the coastal tourism, tourism on islands, fragile ecosystem, then rural area tourism, wildlife area tourism, and the tourism in the countryside, mountain region tourism. Then comes the urban tourism. Each type of environment has its own distinctive characteristics and their own tourism management problems. In the recent years, we have also seen the growth of all these type of tourism environment, such as marine tourism, namely tourism which takes place at sea, such as whale watching. In all above type of environment, the emphasis in relation to sustainable tourism is often on managing existing tourism demand in established destinations and balancing its negative and positive impacts. Alternatively, it involves learning lessons from established destinations that might be applied to new or emerging destinations. Then The third aspect we'll discuss is the sustainable tourism and different types of tourism. In the debate over sustainable tourism, it appears that certain types of tourism are viewed as being inherently more sustainable than the others. There appears to be a commonly held view that mass market coastal based tourism is not compatible with the concept of sustainable tourism. At the same time, the growing phenomena of ecotourism is seen by many commentators as being more in keeping with the idea of sustainable tourism. Now, further, we'll discuss the perceived differences between the two types of tourism which may lead to this perception, although we need to recognize that these are perceptions and therefore subjective and do not necessarily reflect the reality. The view of ecotourism is over noisy and is perhaps just a function of the fact that this is a new phenomena. If it grows to mass scale as it has in Kenya with the safari business, then it may start to exhibit many of the characteristics of mass market coastal tourism. In other words, ecotourism is not perhaps inherently more sustainable than other forms of tourism. Nevertheless, there are still apparently generally held views that forms of tourism are more sustainable than the others. Some of these currently held principles are outlined. However, this is clearly a very simplistic view that is not based on the facts but rather on the subjective judgments. The idea that some forms of tourism are inevitably more sustainable than the others is a major issue in the sustainable tourism debate. It may make those who offer those type of tourism which are perceived to be more sustainable complacent, while it may at the same time discouraging those who offer less sustainable form of tourism from doing anything because they may believe they cannot succeed. Perhaps we need therefore to think that all forms of tourism can be made sustainable. Then students, the fourth aspect is sustainable tourism and different types of tourism organizations. Tourism involves a range of types of organization as can be seen in the chart. We are going to discuss the existence of these different types of organizations in tourism has various implications in terms of sustainable tourism, which includes the first is the public sector bodies tend to be those which develop tourism strategies for the destinations, but it is a private sector organizations which are responsible for most of the tourism products which tourists buy. In other words, those who set the strategies must try to persuade those who dominate the supply side of tourism to go along with their plans. It is large organizations often based outside the destination which are seen to be villains in the sustainable tourism debate. They are accused of showing little long-term commitment to any destination, for they can simply move elsewhere if things get difficult. Conversely, most one person businesses and the small medium sized enterprises are locally owned and have a long term commitment to the destinations which is also their home area. Transnational enterprises that sell their products in foreign countries must make into account sustainable tourism issues in each of these countries, not just in their own country. It is therefore important for the future of concept of sustainable tourism to recognize the growth in tourism of large scale and transnational companies. The fifth aspect is to understand the scope of sustainable tourism is the sustainable tourism and the different sectors of tourism. Each sector of tourism has its own issues in relation to sustainable tourism as depicted. There is also a question of business tourism and sustainable tourism. Business tourists who generally travel more frequently than leisure tourists clearly have a greater impact than the average leisure tourist. The students' next aspect will study is sustainable tourism and functional management. Every area of functional management has a role to play in search for more sustainable form of tourism. The links between the different types of functional management, namely marketing, human resources, finance, and operations. In other words, sustainable tourism should rightly be concern of every person in an organization regardless of their job title or the department. The last aspect we'll discuss about the sustainable tourism is to understand the concept of sustainable tourism in different parts of the world. The concept of sustainable tourism is understood more in those countries where sustainable development is more. For example, Germany and Scandinavian countries. It can also be understood in terms that development procedures in the first world countries are more sustainable focused than third world countries. For the developing countries, it is very difficult to concentrate on short-term economic development for their survival and keep the wagon of development running. Now students, we will discuss the principles towards a new approach to sustainable tourism management. Some principles are now put forward that could constitute a new approach to sustainable tourism management. These principles are briefly outlined here as in the present scenario there is a need to understand that sustainable tourism is perhaps an impossible dream and what we can hope for is to develop more sustainable forms of tourism rather marketing the entire tourism industry driven on sustainable principles. This may be because tourism is inherently non-sustainable or maybe due to the fact that unforeseen future political, economical, social and technological change make current approaches to sustainable tourism management obsolete. We must endeavor to introduce more objectivity into the sustainable tourism debate. It is believed that too much current thinking is judgmental and prejudiced about certain forms of tourism with little real firm evidence to support these judgments and prejudices. It is important for us to recognize that sustainable tourism is an overtly political subject in that it is about distribution of resources now and in the future. The fact that some people will gain and some people will lose as a result of sustainable tourism means that it is inherently political. Technocrat solutions will fail if they ignore the political dimensions. The political nature of the sustainable tourism debate means the sustainable tourism is about who has the power, host communities, the governments, the industries, and the tourist and how to use that power. We need to recognize that definitions of sustainable tourism and devising strategies to try to achieve it will normally reflect who has that power in any particular situation. This brings us to the idea that sustainable tourism is about stakeholder whose interests have to be balanced. We should accept that the idea of community involvement as a cornerstone sustainable tourism is burdened with problems. It is necessary for us to recognize that communities are rarely homogeneous. Taking a single homogeneous, generous view on any issue, there is a need to develop mechanism for arbitrating the conflicting views that will emerge over the tourism in any community. In some instances, the community may wish to pursue policies which are anti-sustainable tourism. We cannot assume, therefore, that the community's involvement will automatically ensure more sustainable form of tourism. The emphasis need to shift from strategy generation to implementation, for there are many sustainable tourism strategies in destinations, but as yet few examples of the emphasis need to shift from strategy generation to implementation, for there are many sustainable tourism strategies in destinations, but as yet few examples of successful initiatives are there. Accepting that in most countries, while public sector can help facilitate the growth of more sustainable form of tourism in many ways, ultimately the key determinants of what happens will be the market. In other words, tourist demand and industry response to the demand of the tourist. This means that public sector policy must focus upon developing partnership with both tourists and the industry based on an understanding of how the tourism marketing actually works. Instead of concentrating on the tourism industry, the emphasis should be on the tourist, for it is their desires, choices, and behavior which ultimately determine the impact which the tourist has on the world. At the same time, we need to recognize that tourists have rights too. They spend their hard earned money on the vacations to the destinations, which have often worked hard to persuade them to go there. They are invited guests, not the invaders. We need to acknowledge that well managed tourism can bring great social, economic, and environmental benefits, as well as being the cause of problems if it is poorly managed. We have to be careful to avoid the temptation to introduce draconian measures that are out of the proportion to the scale of the problem. In an era when freedom of movement is accepted as a basic human right, we must only ever consider restricting the access to the sites and the places as an absolute last resort. We should accept that there are shades of green tourism and that currently very few tourists are dark green. There is a need to clarify the relationship between the ecotourism and the sustainable tourism and be clear that they are not the same thing. Future research on carrying capacity should involve consideration of how the results can be represented. There is little point in learning that ideally a destination can only accommodate 500 tourists per square kilometer at one point of time. If we cannot introduce the measures to restrict the usage to this level or below, tourists should pay a fair price for their holiday experience. They should not be subsidized by the local people who do not gain financially from the tourism. The most sustainable form of tourism may be those where tourism is a fair traded. In other words, we are local communities sell directly to the tourist, cutting out their tour operator and travel agent in between. This may mean more of the tourist spending will go to the local community. for destination, particularly those in developing countries, to gain a fair share of the benefits of tourism, they will probably need to work together to increase their joint power as well as the tourism industry in the developing countries, which are the generators of most international tourist trips. There will almost certainly have to be more restriction on the use of private car transport for many developed countries. The car has gone from being the liberator of the tourist to being the tourist jailer, preventing the tourist mobility through congestion. Voluntary experimental schemes for encouraging people to leave their cars behind and use public transport have generally not worked even on the limited scale on which they have been attempted. We should not place too much faith in educating tourists until we are sure of what the educational message should be at a time when we are still rather vague about the sustainable tourism means. If we want the industry to behave in a more sustainable way, we must accept that it may do so for commercial motivations rather than human reasons, provided that their activities are positive, and we should not perhaps worry too much about the motives of the companies. At a time, there is growing number of pressure groups in the sustainable tourism field. We should not let them power without responsibilities. If such groups influence tourism policy, they may affect other people's lives, for example, causing a reduction in their income, yet they are not currently asked to take responsibilities for their actions, which is unfair. We could also perhaps adopt the slogan sustainable tourism begins at home. In other words, commentators from developed countries should focus on their own country and the behavior of their own tourists rather than telling the people in the developing countries how they should manage their tourism. There is a need for more clear thinking in relation to what we seek to conserve and how we conserve it. There is a need for us to develop good performance indicators for sustainable tourism so that we can monitor our progress and recognize we are failing. It would also be helpful if a system of official standards or sustainable tourism labels could be developed to help those consumers who wish to purchase more sustainable tourism products. We have to recognize that sustainable tourism is inextricably linked with the question of sustainable development in general and other industries such as agriculture. Further, we'll emphasize upon the need for more research. All of these points we'll discuss imply a much greater role for the research and the wider dissemination of research findings. This should include comparable work on the impacts of tourism that helps us to develop standard common ways of assessing these impacts. Then research on working of the tourism industry that increases our understanding of how it might be managed. Then more empirical work on the behavior of the tourist so that we gain a better understanding of their motives and the process through which they make decisions. Then longitudinal studies of both tourism and the individual destinations and the behavior of the market segments. The results of the research must be disseminated widely in a readily understandable form so that it can illuminate the whole sustainable tourism debate. If we cannot find funding for such research, it does not predict well for our ability to develop more sustainable form of tourism. In the end of this module, we will highlight the changes in the concept of sustainable tourism over the period of time. We have to accept that the concept of sustainable tourism will change over time. We can therefore never allow our ideas of sustainable tourism to become too fixed so that they cannot be changed as the world and the social attitudes change. The sustainable tourism debate has also moved on one form, the concern with the environment and the green issues, to the wider subject of sustainable tourism. It is likely, therefore, that our level of interest in sustainable tourism and the issues which concerns us in relation to tourism will be very difficult in 10, 20 or maybe 30 years from now. Ironically, given the definition of sustainable development, we must ensure that we do not do the things today, which means that the future governments do not have the freedom to tackle sustainability in the best way for them at the time. There are various strategies and tools for sustainable tourism are as follows. First is by conserving energy, then reducing waste by purchasing sustainable products and services, by providing jobs to the local people, then by purchasing the local products and publicize, partner and connect around the sustainability, then limit the tourist numbers to the levels that would not disturb the natural systems or the communities in the area, then to consult communities and respect their wishes in regard to the tourism and linked industries, have an off season when major places are closed for the visitors, then improve transport linkages. Modern modes are likely to be much more green than to understand the modes of harm, levels of risk and value of what is being lost. So students, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. This module suggests a set of guidelines that might underpin a new approach to sustainable tourism management and will concentrate on how we might put the principles of sustainable tourism into practice. The polarization of tourism into good and the bad is divisive and unhelpful. It is important for us to recognize that sustainable tourism is an overtly political subject, in that it is about distribution of resources now and in the future. The fact is that some people will gain and some will lose as a result of sustainable tourism means that it is inherently political. The emphasis need to shift from the strategy generation to the implementation, for there are many sustainable tourism strategies in the destinations, but as yet few examples of the successful initiatives are there. Thank you so much.